Welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Reshaping Business with Integrity, the podcast where we explore how to run your business authentically and with integrity. I'm your host, Elisa Bogarts, a business coach and launch manager, helping coaches launch their programs and events that align with their business values. Together, we'll uncover the secrets to building a successful business without sacrificing morals, ethics, authenticity, or heart. Let's dive in. All right, let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the competitive edge of trusting your intuition. And today, my guest is Rose Blaum. And Rose is a best-selling author, a success principles coach, and a corporate leadership strategist. Called the Inside Out Coach, she draws on neuroscience, mental health insights, and decades of leadership experience to help others trust their intuition to thrive in work and in life. Welcome, Rose. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Yes, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, Elisa, and with your group.
So tell me, how you got into this field of work and just why you're so passionate about it.
It hit me one day when I was going down the wrong road in life, thinking, why am I doing this? And where is this the real position that I need to be in life? And is this, I just didn't feel empowered. I felt like I was going through motions. I was very busy, corporate job, loved the job. However, I wasn't passionate about it. I had just realized that there was more out there for me, and I didn't know really what it was. And then I found out through just being around, having people come to me and say, what would you think about this? And what do you think about that? That I love to see people grow and blossom and become the best version of themselves that they could be. So that's where my passion went. So gee whiz, this was late when I decided that. I was in my 50s when I realized, okay, I'm going to have a little detour. And it's never too late. That's my message. Don't think, oh, well, I have all these years of experience behind me. This is what I meant to do. Well, maybe that was for them. But there's always different seasons in life, and there's times where we can grow into new areas that we become a better person and more strength in our own vitality and just wanting to say, wow, I'm excited to get up in the morning. And at one time I wasn't. I was like, okay, here we go. But now I go, oh, I can't wait to get up and see what my day is going to bring. And so that's why I'm writing a book, which is perfect for what the story is on your show, is your GPS turned on? And that's an acronym for God's probing sensor, because as most of us know, there are some intuition in our gut. It talks to us. But did you know that there are over 500 million neurons that we're born with? And because we have to discern, okay, in a split second, as soon as you can blink your eye, our brain takes over. And sometimes it might say, Rose, I don't think you should do this. And our brain says, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. But I should have listened, and I needed to listen to that. So it's the balance of our listening to our gut and our intuition, and then how our brain picks up and balances off the logical and reason. It's like in a teeter-totter.
Right.
If I jumped on that teeter-totter. I remember as a little kid, I jumped on one, and the larger boy that was older than me jumped on it, and I went flying up in the air because it wasn't balanced. But that's how we want to go through life, right? With this balance. And when we know we're unbalanced, it doesn't feel so good. And other people around us feel it. in our leadership roles, in our uh, inauthentic life that we are living with that. And
Right.
sometimes we can't put a finger on, well, how do I know I'm living in an authentic life?
Right.
That's hard to tell sometimes. Sometimes it's easier to tell if we're to pick up the negative side. Well, I know I'm inauthentic when I said yes, and I should not have said yes because now I can't get my work done. And now I'm behind because I said yes to be a pleaser to help that person. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's not being authentic. And being, if somebody says, well, where would you like to go eat? Well, it doesn't matter, but it really does matter. You don't really want to go to that, but you want to just not cause ruffles or waves. There are ways that we can learn how to do that in life and still have cohesive unity among us, right? Don't
Yeah,
you agree with that?
absolutely. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
do agree. Yeah, I think boundaries are super important.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I didn't have boundaries for many, many years. I thought I did, but no, didn't really mean it meant if they kept begging me or pushing me, I might say, okay, all
right.
right, we'll do that. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm not being true to myself.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
um,
Yeah,
you
and
know,
what
I
you were, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say what you were saying earlier about, how your brain takes over. I find myself in that all the time, that kind of that tipsy topsy. I'm like, I have a difficulty sometimes being like, what is real right now? Because like I go like, yes, I want to do this. No, I shouldn't. Yes, I should. No, I shouldn't. And sometimes I can't tell which is the right one, and I go back and forth forever. Do you have any sort of um, guidance on that? Like how to hone in to actually what is in alignment and trust that?
Yes, yes. And I, of course, I will go into a lot of detail in that in my book and in my coaching practices as well. And in leadership, I teach that to corporate executives because now they are realizing, HR people have now realized that they need to listen to their gut, not just the resume, what's on paper. So they're listening, is this really a good fit for our company? And they're listening to that and how to teach them to do that. And some of the things, the ways, there are just a few basic steps that you could incorporate right today. And one of them is to stop and listen. Just, I know that sounds silly, but if I'm thinking, okay, let's say that I'm going to put this stapler here and I forget that, okay, if I'm not thinking through things, I'm just going to throw it there and forget where things are. Maybe my glasses, your keys, your purse, where did I put it? But if you stop and ask yourself, okay, am am I cognizant? Am I thinking through what's happening right now? Am I being and tuned in to where I'm at? And sometimes it's really hard, but with intuition, I was leaving to go out the door the other day, and this is a wonderful example. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be late to that appointment, but my gut said, don't go, don't go, don't get in the car. And I thought, well, that's silly. I'm going to be late. Don't get in the car. And it was really strong. So I came back and I sat down and I said, okay. And I just decided to do something else. And then finally, a few minutes said, okay, get in the car. And I thought, okay. And I got in the car and I thought, this is silly. And I got in the car and I started to head out. And actually, it was the garbage truck. I don't even know how he saw, but he came on the other side of the road, waving me down and say, "Lady, lady, lady, don't get on the road. Your tire is about to blow." And I don't, I know. And it had a big old big thing like this, a big bubble. And I said, "Oh my gosh!" And he said, if you would have got on that road, it would have been terrible because that was a 60-mile-an-hour road and it would have blown.
Wow.
And had I not, little things. So how do we get in tune to that? We
Yeah.
stop, we think, okay, it might be a silly thought, but I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it, and you'll go, oh. And as long as you are asking yourself, is this for the good? Is this doing any harm for me to do this? Is this a benefit to me to listen to that? And does it benefit someone else? If turning around, should I um, give someone help them out, give them a smile, give them a hand. I saw a guy sitting on the road at the 7-Eleven the other day, and I had some clothes in the car from my son, and I was going to take them to the Goodwill. I thought, maybe I'll ask him if he would like those clothes. And I turned around, I got out of the car, and that was another one of those, just being aware and in tune to what our bodies are telling us. And because it
Hmm.
does talk, and it will give us good signals to eat well, to
Yeah. And so how can
exercise.
we like use that with business and get that competitive edge?
Oh, oh, well, I just interviewed Chris Voss. Chris Voss is if you all look him up, is the FBI chief negotiator for hostage uh, terrorist that took all of our hostages in the world, the chief head FBI negotiator. I just interviewed him on his podcast, and I asked him, where does intuition come into play with negotiating and strategizing? He says it's everything. It's because of the intuition, you can think, uh, is if we go by the book on some things, then that might lead us down the right way. But what if we had some detours? What if we listened to the people that are in the trenches? Another person I just had lunch with the other day, yes, 2 days ago, was David Green, who was the CEO and owner of Hobby Lobby. And the business by the book is the book that he wrote, and it's not by the book, rather, because we have to sometimes look outside of the SMART goals and the strategic and listen to what's going on with our team and what can we do differently to bring in unity and team cohesiveness and re-strategize and reformulate and come up with a plan that is doable and teachable and workable for all of the whole team to benefit.
Right. Okay. And intuition is what guides that?
Intuition will help guide that along with your planning and strategizing. So when we're doing planning, and with just like Harvard recently had said that one of the things with the HR people are doing now, and not just going by the resume, they're listening to their gut. Yeah, and that's big on who they're going to hire and who they're not. They have shown that at least 40 to 50% of the people that they hired now, they're listening to their intuition and not just what's on paper because they have all these credentials. Because if they're not a good fit, and if something's not working, sometimes we can tell, can't we? By going into a room and having a leadership development structured meeting going on, and things are just not, they're not gelling, they're not being cohesive. That's when our gut can say, let's step back and take a look at this in a different way. And that's your
Mm,
intuition. That's your guiding your gut instincts, to not just logic and reason, but the balance of them both, you know.
right.
So
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really is. It's fascinating. And they have uh, neuroplasticity can be grown. All the new wavelengths they grow so fast. I just got a master's in mental health and brain health counseling.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got that 4 days ago, and I'm getting
Congratulations.
two more. Thank you. And I'm in my 70s. So people that say, okay, you can't learn. Yes, you can. And it's my brain is stronger now than I was 20 years ago. And I'm a brain health mental coach under Dr. Amen, and it's that balance that we learn how to reprogram those neuroplasticity, the wavelengths. And what we can do is take your org charts and work at them out and see where the heaviness is and where the lighter weights. The areas that are light, we need to work on. The heavy part, if we're not having unification with goal setting or something, someone's off in some area, perhaps that's the weak link that we need to work on to strategically get us back into alignment. And then with that alignment, then we can really live our true authentic life.
What do you mean by light and heavy? Do you mean like as you're looking at the org chart, or what do you mean by that?
Well, okay, good point. So if I was to draw a pie, I would draw a pie, and then I would put on there all the pieces of that pie. Let's say you're looking at it in your easier to think of in a personal life is you have your spiritual life, you have your health, your what are you doing for that? Are you working out? Are you eating right? Are you going to just grab coffee all day and things that might end up causing things to go wrong down the road? And then where are you putting your energies into your business? Are you being busy, or are you being productive? And I know that when I was in corporate America, I was construction design manager for Marriott Vacation Club. So I had a lot of balls to throw in the air at the same time, a lot of resorts to work on. And sometimes I just felt busy and I wasn't being as productive as I go back and listen to my gut say, who can I delegate this to? Who can I have step in to take some of this so that the ball doesn't get dropped? And listening to that. So the pie chart is, I do that a lot in my life too. And sometimes I go, okay, I'm off. I have too much weight over here. I'm not giving this any attention over here. And so we want to make sure that it's equalized so that we get that balance in that equilibrium in our business life as well as our professional and personal life, because you can't separate one and the other. They are all going to show up the same,
Right,
you know.
right.
Yeah.
And sorry, just to bring it back to the org chart thing, I guess I'm just gonna, because you were saying look at your org chart and see the light and the dark. And so
Yeah. So
what
which
do you
one
mean by
has
that?
the most weight? Like, let's say that I'm spending a lot of time um, working on writing my book, but everything else goes to the wayside. I need to then go back, and that's got all the heavy dark. I thought, okay, now I'm forgetting about feeding the family, and I'm not working out, and I've got to get that balance back. And we do that at work as well, because we could go meeting. I have so many Zoom calls I could do to, I'm blue in the face, but that doesn't mean I'm being productive.
Right.
So sometimes I have to say no. And that's where the heaviness of that, okay, this is good. This is what I really enjoy, but this is what I need to do over here. to get that balance so that I can have a happy, productive uh, existence in life, and
Yeah.
have value to give. Because when we're off kilter, it
Hmm.
shows. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Yeah, everybody picks up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So based on kind of what
yeah.
we've talked about today, what's sort of a specific action that our listeners can do today?
Okay. Before you make some decisions, if you, sometimes it could be just a little one, but especially in the big ones, stop and think, okay, is this benefiting where I'm going down, where I want my career and my leadership, my path to go? And how do I feel about that? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. My mom always said, she had this little saying, when in doubt, don't. Because sometimes that doubt is that little hunch that inside us that says, maybe this wouldn't be the best thing. Or, okay, you have to just think then, is it fear or is it intuition? And that's the tough one. That's what I tackle also in with my
Mm.
coaching, because they can look like the same sometime, but there are ways that we can tell. But today, just stop and listen and think, okay, hmm, I would like to say I want to do that, but in my gut, I know that that's really not best for me. So I'm going to say, perhaps I won't do that today, or let's look at that in a different way and not just no. Say, because that will be well received by all.
Awesome. Well, thank you
And
so much for
sometimes
this. It's
no
been
means yes, right? No means
right.
yes to us. Give some that time back to yourself to
Exactly.
be the best you can be.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for this. How can our listeners find you online?
Oh, I would love that. You can reach me at rosemaryblaum.com, and we'll, I'm sure, put that in the link. And I could set up a little 30-minute discovery call if you want to find out more about neuroplasticity and the brain, and how it works with our gut and our intuition, and find out some about my books. And uh, I just would love to see your audience become uh, just a leap ahead, and know that every step is leading them in the right direction. And I'm sure you have a fabulous audience that wants to become the best that they could be, or that's that's why they're here, right? So
Yeah,
that's what it's
exactly.
about. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. And to finish us off, do you have any final words of wisdom?
Lean in, trust your gut. uh, it might feel funny sometime, but that's okay. It's anything new is going to feel a little different. But I would lean in and trust it, and go with that. And then make sure that you balance it out with uh, making sure that whatever you do is not going to harm you or someone else too in the process of that. Because um, that is where you're going to find some peace and happiness, and others around you will definitely grow and benefit, and your teams will be better too.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rose. This has been such a nice conversation. I really
It
appreciate you
has
coming
been,
on the show.
Elisa. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.